Irrepressible Soul is important. It is a celebration. It's liberation. It's a way to protest through arts for Black people. Irrepressible Soul is a project for the culture, for the community. It's really a moment for real.
My favorite part of the experience was really the lead up, like the planning in the beginning, because with it being your first time, you can either think too small or you can think so big. And I felt like there were moments where I would catch myself thinking small, but then I'm like, we got this team, we got this infrastructure, we have these spaces. Let's think as big as we can.
I think the process was my favorite, like not even the events. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the events were just a continuation of everything that went on behind the scenes.
Yeah, facts.
So the process between collaborating, brainstorming, researching, figuring out how we want to best address issues in the community or have conversations, all that carried over into the actual event.
I'm gonna say the immersive nature of it. The exhibition itself was immersive. The events that we had and all the programming was immersive. So it really allowed me to see even more than just like beyond my head how creating these immersive experiences in this very engaging space, what that can do.
Seeing people light up, I think, was my favorite part of this process. So whether it be behind the scenes or in front of the scenes, whether it be people who helped us like prepare and plan and make these experiences, or the people who came and were like part of the experiences, it was just dope to see people have, you know, moments that they didn't expect to have.
I was so grateful of this entire process, or just like impact, yes, when it comes to the people involved, but also seeing the impact of people watching, especially like seeing the impact of kids, seeing them gravitate towards the art or like the Black health and wellness. And it's so hard to like say I have a favorite, but if I had to say I had a favorite event, it would be that one. Like we were all together, great music, free fruit, we got to give out free plants, and it was just like an amazing vibe. It felt good.
The emphasis of the show, we may not speak about as much as we do other things, was the actual artwork. The artwork was crazy, like just the professional nature of it, the quality, the experimental nature of it, the exploration, like the array of mediums and topics. The artwork in this space, the 27 artists, was probably second to none. I think people seeing that was new.
And that was kind of one of the points, was to bring our culture into this world that is very much so for us. A lot of it designed, influenced, created by us. And I think that was also one of my favorite parts, was like people who would have never even come into this type of space, now they're in it, they're interested in it, and they're looking for more ways to be involved in it.
How I look at Irrepressible Soul is, yes, it's this immersive experience, it's this exhibition, but it's also a brand in a sense.
You know, I think one of the unique things that we did in this show, in this exhibition, was a lot of the things we talked about, looked at, are being talked about in contemporary art, being talked about in politics, being talked about in social movements. What we're doing now is understanding that the way we talk and understand things culturally can be understood and talked about in any community, right? But how do we take those things that we've learned, we've experienced, and that are present in our culture, and have that conversation on a wider level? I think we're on the cutting edge, right? We're gonna keep doing that. We have some other things in the works, but I think we're just looking and pushing the envelope forward in terms of art education, in terms of art movements, art forms, genres, you know, academia in general. Our culture is currency, right? And I think what we did is we demanded that people invest in it and not exploit it, and that we had to see at the table.
We were able to use resources that, you know, these people typically wouldn't have access to, and we wouldn't even typically have access to, but through all of our different expertise, we were able to tap into that and create something that, you know, we should be able to do more of.
I think all of us really care about impact, change, and like want to put out some dope, amazing, creative spaces, especially showcasing Black people and Black culture. So I look forward to doing that again.
Figuring out what your impact is and how to measure that. You know, success is really built on partnerships. So when you have these partnerships that are authentic, or ones that you can really trust and rely on, and that you know have the same kind of goals, initiatives, you know, and impact measurements that you do.
I'm huge on collaboration, but also huge on like learning who I'm collaborating with. We have enough data to know, you know, what works well with what and what people work well in what places. So like the thing I'm most excited about is bringing those together to, you know, make the picture more complete.
If you want to do something dope, you have to involve more people than yourself. I'm excited to tell specific stories and give certain information to like push people in intentional directions.
Irrepressible means not able to be controlled or restrained. And at this point, we're only going up, and that's the message.